We're going to go over the process of integration using QuickBooks Desktop 2021 version for the Web Connector 3.0. This is not to be confused with the QuickBooks Web Connector. The Web Connector 3.0 is a new feature created by QuickBooks. You will need version 2021 in order to use this. It will not work with previous years. Please make sure before getting started that you have mapped your forms. So there is 1099 miscellaneous and 1099 NEC forms that you can integrate the data from your QuickBooks Desktop into tax1099.com. You will want to have mapped either one or both of those forms depending on which form type you need to file. And there's a place within QuickBooks to do that. You want to make sure that your vendors are set up correctly. So your vendors will need to have a name, address, tax ID, as well as being marked 1099 eligible. And any payments that you have for them in QuickBooks, you need to make sure that those payments are mapped to one of the 1099 forms boxes. For the QuickBooks Web Connector 3.0, as I mentioned, you will do it with QuickBooks Desktop version 2021. So you will want to come to your icon. You want to make sure that your QuickBooks icon is not pinned down here to your taskbar. I'm actually already logged into mine. So that's why you see this icon here, but you will right click and choose Run as Administrator. It doesn't matter if you are already the admin, you still have to right click anytime that you go in to use the Web Connector 3.0 by right clicking and choosing Run as Administrator. Then when your QuickBooks pulls up and you are logged in, you will need to have open the company that you are going to import for. So if you have a QuickBooks Desktop that has multiple companies that exist in that QuickBooks, you will want to make sure that you are in the company that you are wanting to import the data for. You also want to make sure that Tax 1099 is not listed in company preferences for any of the other companies when you go to do the import with the Web Connector 3.0 in the company that you're working on. You can find this by going to Edit, Preferences, Integrated Applications, Company Preferences. As you can see, for the current company I'm under, there's no Tax 1099 listed here. If I was checking in one of the other companies within my QuickBooks and I saw Tax 1099 listed, I would click Remove to remove that so it would no longer show here, and then click OK. Then I would go to the company that I'm importing for, and I'm going to come to File, App Management, Manage Web Apps. Locate the Tax 1099 app, and you'll see it says not initiated, and then you'll click Setup. And within your QuickBooks Desktop, it's going to pull up the tax1099.com website. So this is done from within your QuickBooks. You will enter your Tax 1099 email and password, and then click Login. And you should get this application certificate. You want to click Yes whenever this QuickBooks company file is open, and then click this Allow this application to access personal data, then click Continue, and click down on this pop-up. And as you can see, it's going to take you to our QuickBooks Desktop integration section. where you will see the company listed that you were under in your QuickBooks desktop, the tax year, as well as you can select which form type you need to import for. We are going to do the miscellaneous, and then you'll click next. And then it will put you on our import grid. On this page, we want to make sure that our vendors have green dots on the left-hand side of their name, and we also want to make sure that the payer has a green dot. As you can see here, this payer has a green dot, but on the left of this vendor, it does not. So we would click on this vendor name and look for what is missing. Whatever needs to be added, if it's not included in the profile yet, will be outlined in red. It may also be sometimes, for example, your zip code may be wrong. That should be outlined in red as well if the zip code was incorrect, or if you just didn't see anything outlined in red and you click update, if it happens to be the zip code, then it will give you an error message. For this client recipient ID, for the purposes of showing this video, I'm using my own test account in Tax1099, and I am set up as an enterprise API customer that is client recipient ID driven. So for me personally, and any customer that is set up that way, the client recipient ID here will be required to be completed. But if you are not that type of customer, then this would not be something that would be required by you. But whichever information you need to edit or add, you can do so. If you needed to change some other information that you see is incorrect, you can do that as well. And then click update. And the system will change that dot to green. If you need to edit the amount or the box number being reported to, you can click edit here and it will open up this box. So you can change the box number, and it opens up the amount box so you could change the amount if needed, and then click update when you're done. If you have multiple pages of data that you are importing and you want to see just the vendors that have red dots, you can click on this filter and select this and click filter, and it will filter it to only show you the vendors that have red dots, and you can go through the list and fix every single one of them. And then once you are done fixing all of them, then you will come back to this filter and click clear, and it will clear out the filter so that then it'll display all of your vendors, since at that point all of them will have green dots. If you have a large amount of vendors with red dots, we do have a suggestion if you're running into the issue of being kicked out. You may not doing it from within QuickBooks here, but sometimes from the import grid, there's a possibility if you spend a long amount of time on this page that you may get logged out, and then you would have to come back and redo the edits that you made. So if you have a large amount of vendors that need to be fixed, we do suggest either going out of this and fixing your vendors within your QuickBooks, or selecting all and choosing export to Excel. And then you can fix the vendors within the Excel template and then just go to our actual website, and or you may be able to do it even within here and upload the Excel template instead. Again, this is only if you have a very large amount of vendors that need fixed. But once you have everything ready, all the dots are green, and you're ready to proceed, if you have just a single page of vendors that you need to import, you can click this button here, or this box here, and it will just select the vendors on the page you're on. If you click select all up here, it would select all vendors on every single page that you have. then click Next. And at this point, the information is successfully uploaded into tax1099.com. On the import grid, that's like the halfway point. So the information there is showing in Tax1099, but it's not fully imported into Tax1099. You have to get past that page to this select forms or view, edit, submit section and get this pop-up that mentions how many records have been uploaded successfully. And that information will be fully in tax1099.com. And at this point, if you were to leave this page and come back, you could find these forms still on this page to continue submitting them. We do suggest that at this point, even though you have maybe reviewed your data in QuickBooks Desktop, you maybe reviewed some of it on the import grid, we still suggest that customers review the data on this page to verify that the vendor's name, address are correct, their tax ID is correct for that vendor, as well as the amounts and what box is being reported in. There are multiple ways to do that. To the right of each vendor, there is a view button under the action column. You can click that. It will pull up the PDF copy so you can look at it and review the information. If you have a lot of vendors, then you can choose Select All and Export to Excel. That will give you a single Excel template with all of the data in that Excel template that you can review in one place. Or you can do download multiple PDF. It will download a zip file that has individual files per PDF within it, and you can review the PDFs that way. It's just up to you and your preference. From this point, once you're ready to go on, you can choose whether you would like us to USPS mail or email copies to recipients. State filing can be selected on this page as well. And then you would select all and choose next to submit those forms for e-file. That is the process of importing with the QuickBooks Desktop Web Connector 3.0. If you have another company that you need to import data for within the same QuickBooks account, you would want to log out of your Tax1099, close this out, go to that next company, log into it, or sorry, I apologize. You would want to, in this company that you just did the import for, you would want to go to Edit, Preferences, Integrated Applications, Company Preferences, and see this Tax1099. Click Remove, click Yes, and click OK. This removes that Tax1099 app from this specific company within this QuickBooks account. Then you can go to the next company, log into that company, and then do the same process that we have shown here to connect to that company to our app and do the import process with the Web Connector 3.0. Thank you for your time.